Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Belfair, Washington, Hickville, USA here in the Pacific Northwest. Hey, we have a wildfire that's causing smoke issues, which is aggravating my cough, making me kind of hoarse here. So please pardon me. But this is September 2024's Monday series of videos. This is video number 2, meaning it is a case a card. And we are focusing on the month of September on 2 bundles. Yeah, 2. That's because they're both punch bundles. And they can be paired, I think, beautifully together. I think that you can use these sentiments in here. And I just think these are things that can be used together. They're very useful. So we have the Labeled with Love and the Keeping tabs. Now, being that this is a case a card, I chose... I'm trying to figure out where I can set this. Yikes. Okay. I chose to do on page 59. You'll see that these punches are side by side in the catalog as well. But could have done something like this, right? Or like this. But, no, I chose something that took me almost 4 hours now to finish. 4 hours, because I couldn't make up my mind and I was trying different things. So, we are going to be casing this card. My difference is I'm not doing 4 pieces, I'm doing 3. And this little bit, I'm moving over here, and you're going to see in a minute. So this is my case of card. I'll be showing that again to you. Let me set it down. We're going to be using the Eyelet 3D embossing folder and this wee little bird from the Country Birdhouse. Now, the reason why I chose this bird is because he's facing that way, and that's how I wanted him to face. So I needed that. And, oh, what else? Something that you won't even notice unless you get a really close eye. This right here, to me, I know it is the Eyelet embossing folder, but they have so much of it covered up. I was like, why? Why cover all that up? I mean, you can't even tell unless you look at this tiny little line that this is backed onto something. If they wanted to do that, they should have just embossed the whole card base with the embossing folder and let some of it speak. So I just had to tweak things just for my personal bit. But before we go into what we're going to use, I'm going to take a drink of Diet Coke, not iced tea. I was having just such a hard time with this. Sorry, that's my straw. Sorry, didn't mean to be clanking that around. My glass straw. Let me show you the card. Oh, yes. Here it is. And please tell me you guys like it. I absolutely love it. I think, I didn't do this, but I think these little pecan pie in clear ribboned adhesive back dots would go really pretty on here. Let's just take them off the sheet. See, I just think, I don't want the white ones. I think I want these. So like one here. See, for some reason I do not like it up there. So one here. And then do we do a small one over in this corner? I think we do. Where do I put it? No, I really kind of think I'm going to put it right there. So look at that, those little embellishments. And it's really hard, but there is like, I want to say almost like a netting pattern, like a fishnet pattern in these. It's really hard to see the detail, especially on those. They're silver unless you tip it like this. I don't know, you get this little hint of it in there. Anyways, I think that is an adorable little card. Now, I've got to tell you, yes, I struggled, guys. I really, really struggled. First of all, I have this all done on a Kraft card base, just like this one. I got it all done, and it opened like this. Yeah, this was like on it like this, and I was like, oh, good grief. Okay, and so then I cut a very vanilla card base. I'm going to show it to you. Look at that. I misscored it. That was, I'm having one of those days. I'm happy to say that I can laugh about it. And then so I had to cut it off and put it onto a very vanilla backing. And then I'm like, I didn't get that all the way on there the right way, but let's trim this edge down so we can see the vanilla. So that's what we're going to do. Let me show you the inside. This is a Happy Thanksgiving card, so I just did the border detail. Now, for the back here, I didn't like this, so we're going to skip that, but we are probably going to run this just at the bottom. Maybe we'll go around the whole envelope. But anyways, this is my version of their cards. So my version and their version. I'm happy with it. I am. I really, really, really am. A little bit. So let's go over what you're going to need. So here we're going to start with the basics. This is a card base, is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This notebook is like not wanting to work with me. So our layer number 1 is 4 by 5 1/4. That's in Kraft. Then we have our Cajun Craze, which is layer number 2, which is 2 3/4 by 5. And we already embossed it with the eyelet embossing folder. And we have our envelope. So let me stick that in there because I have other stuff to show you. So you will need to cut 5 strips that are 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. You're going to need 5 because you're going to need a strip that'll do 3 stamping and punchings of this in 5 different colors. Yeah, I've done prep work. Yes, I have. You're welcome. I did do prep work. So this is what we are going to be making. I'm going to show you how I did that. Then you're going to need 3. I only have 2 here because one's already on the back of the other one. Cut 3 strips at 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/2. Guys, I just used strips that were in my scrap bin and cut it there. And you can see I put it on the back. I even have tear tape on the back of them. So I'm going to show you, we need like one more green done, and I'm going to show you on this piece, because this is, I was using scrap, guys, but if you don't have scrap, do the strips. So we need some linen thread. You need a piece like this in Kraft, 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that is for the bow punch. And you can see I've already done my bows, but I did it in Kraft, and then I used a 1 by 4 strip of Cajun Craze. Here's a little scrap left over to do this one in it, so that I don't need to punch, but those are done. And I just layered them up. I just made a little my own little sprig and layered those up. You can tuck that one back there however you want to do it. So those are done. A scrap piece of very vanilla, or a 1 1/2 by 1 3/4 for our bird. Maybe we'll use that for our bird. From the Country Birdhouse, a scrap strip that is 1 1/2 by 3 1/2, a very vanilla, for the labeled with love punch and the keeping tabs punch. So let's get going, right? Woo! That slid right out of there. So what do we do first? Let's stamp. We are going to do the detail border because I already started it. Look, I started Yeah, I was trying to be useful. That's not the piece I want. I want my stamped and pierced mat. So we're going to stamp in pecan pie onto Kraft, because pecan pie is what I did the little punch with. So we're going to do several things with that in just a second. We're looking for this. So all I did was keep a line. Remember, most of this is going to be covered up. We're just giving it a little border is all. Now when you get to this other end, and you're going to see where that would overlap, you just need a post-it note, a scrap piece. I had to refill my little post-it note, and now it doesn't want to stick in there. I need to put some tear tape in there or something, because it's not sticking. But I do like it. So all I'm going to do is put this on the line here. All right, ta-da, we made our frame. So let's go ahead and we are going to stamp the inside bottom of our card base while we have the pecan pie out. And we're going to stamp our envelope as well. Remember, I said I was changing my envelope up. I'm just going to go straight across the bottom. And then I have that really old stamp that says "Give Thanks." We're going to stamp that. I'm just looking. Do I want to go? Yeah, we might as well. We want to make it pretty. So I'm going to use the opposite end this time. And just do a little detail here. I'm going to start there. Ooh, that worked out really, really well. Then we're going to stamp "Give Thanks" on here. Because this for me is a Thanksgiving card. Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm going to set this aside. This is just an old something I had. So next I said we needed a bird. We also need the labeled with love. And all of these need to be in pecan. Oh no, this is in Cajun Craze. The bird, however, is in. We're going to put the bird on this one. Right there. Check. Let's do any more. I don't need any more of this. Oh, I do. I do. First things first, though, we have to stamp the frame. Oh, no. The frame. I changed my mind. I'm sorry. Today is just one of those days. So here's my frame. I decided to change the frame to pecan pie and Hello Friend in Cajun Craze. So I'm going to put that away. Bring out the Cajun Craze. And we're going to stamp. I'm going to do a little test. Yes, I think it's going to stand out just a little better. Right there. And Cajun Craze closed. The birdie can go over there. That we need to clean off. That can go over there. Let's punch it. So we're going to punch our frame out. See, we would have had enough room there for our bird as well. So next what we're going to do is we are going to get our cluster. That's what these are called. We're going to put one there and one here. But first, before we do that, we're going to put some tape here. Just across like that. Some tear tape. Oh, that might be a delivery. And everybody's going to go bark at the front door. Everybody is going to bark. I know that I need an end pointing out this way. Oh my good kitty heart, those little dogs of mine are just going to have a field day. At absolutely nobody. I don't even think there's a delivery truck out there. I just think they're barking to bark. And one will bark and the rest don't know why. They just have to join in. So there we have, you know, like a faux bow. And then we can bring this in and we're going to place that here. And then this is going to go there. And I'm going to look at it. And I put it all going the wrong direction, guys. Yeah, I did. It's meant to go this direction. That's okay. We'll just fix it. Now it's going the right direction. So let's try that again. This one like that. And this one like so. Now I'm going to take a look at them. Oh, that's perfect. And now I'm going to secure it with a little bit more of tear tape. This time I'm not going to remove it. This is going to go up on dimensional, so we can put those in place. So one right there. 3 across. So our little cluster is all done. We're going to set that aside and we're going to color in my little bird. Now, I brought in first a little yellow and I'm using my really old blender pen. Yes, I am. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this is Daffodil Delight. I'll go over the colors that I used. First, I want to do his little beak. And I want to come in with his feet, though I am going to end up changing it. I'm going to add a little to his wings. Tap off first, because I don't want them bright. Remember, this is a fall card. And a little here. And I think I want to put a little bit more right there. Alright, so that's my Daffodil Delight. That's one of the colors I stamped the keeping tabs punch in. The next color I brought in was Cajun Craze. Let me put my thread up. And I'm just going to pull some over here. And I'm going to tap off because I don't want it too overbearing. And I'm just going to go over his feet a little. Can add a little in on his beak, and I brought a little in on his wings. Looks like I need a little pull, a little more. I'd rather have less and add more than have too much and not be able to remove it, because you can always add more ink. Guys, you just can't take it off. And then we're going to go over him all in crumb cake. So I'm just adding a little there. So crumb cake comes to play. And we're just going to pick a little up, tap off. And then I'm just going to cover him just lightly. Giving him some fall looking colors for my little finch. Because I have finches in the garden here. So there's my little birdie. He's a cutie pie. And we're done with crumb cake, and then I just fussy cut it. I did not bother using the die. If you have arthritic hands and fussy cutting is difficult for you, please use the die. I think I have been very fortunate. My hands are not arthritic. My aunt has very arthritic hands. It's hard for her to do little things like this. But this is easy for me because you just, as you close your scissors, see, I open them up, and then as I close them, I need to get a little closer, I turn the paper. I'm still closing, and you can do it slowly. So open them up. As you close, that's when you make your turn. Open, and now I'm turning. There we have it. This is still good stuff, right? Yes, that's keeper. So our little bird is done. Now for our cluster, my deal is I already have dimensionals on there. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to build a little dimension on the back of our bird. Yes, I put the good scissors away. So we're just going to fussy cut this scrap bit, just enough for the belly. Put some glue, and I'm going to do a couple of little layers like this. This is going to give it a little dimension, but not bulk. So it doesn't matter that they're not perfect. I don't mind. So here, and then you are going to see, I'm going to show you. See, I can get this all the way around them. So there is dimension there. There just isn't bulk. Okay? So now that our little birdie, well, those could have been a little turned, but that's okay. I'm not going to pick it apart. It's my card. It's going to be good. All right. Next is how did I do this, right? Yes. Okay, so we have our strip. That's 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now I chose, let me show you the colors I used. So I used the first color here, Real Red. Second color, Daffodil Delight. Third color was Pumpkin Pie. Our fourth color is Old Olive. And my fifth color was Pecan Pie. Cajun Craze was an accent color. It just needed something a little different behind it. So we are going to do, I need one more of the Old Olive, and that's what I'm going to show you how I did it. So we have to clean this off because we used it with Pecan Pie. Now guys, if you're wondering, was this card worth it? I'm going to tell you it definitely was. But I just had to figure it out. I'm going to show you. I still have more, which I have to figure out what to do with, because I started doing this on a white background like they did. See? The problem being is I just could not, I didn't like the white for a fall card. So I had to, and I had, oh, I have a stack of them here. There's a stack of reds in my little dish here. There's the rest of them is in here. Here's another stack ready. I got all that done. That's why I mean this took me way too long. And I did the little strip on the back. I just found for a fall card this didn't work. However, I might be able to get away with doing like a bookmark on a piece of Kraft or something with these. So I'm gonna fix these. In the review, I'll show you what I do with them, because I don't want them to go to waste. So we have Old Olive. Can ink it up really good. This is a cloth pad. It's not one of the newer pads, so I'm gonna stamp it. And what I did is I stamped, stamped, and stamped. I did three of them. Do I need any more old olive? Let's see if I need. Oh, let's just do them. I mean, I don't have to punch them out, and I can always stamp on the other side. So there's 1, 2. And I ink me up as well. 3. Oh yeah, I got ink on me. So we're going to set that aside. And then you took the fabulous Keeping Tabs punch. You guys know I am still thinking about that silly little house punch, the little gingerbread punch in the new mini catalog. Give me a punch and I just am like I can fixate on it. No wonder why Hank gets like this. So you just punch them out. When you come to the middle one, you do have to snip off a bit. But that's why I told you because you get this as a handle and you just stick it in there and punch. Voila! Now, you do have to fussy cut a little cleanup on these. So you see how that has the curve. So once again, open the scissors. As you close the scissors, turn the cardstock. There's one. Do not worry about perfection on this. It is not worth the hassle. Remember, this was meant to fold over. So here we go. As I close, I'm turning. And you can see I missed a little bit there. So I can just come back in and just finesse it a little if I want to. If you don't want to, don't do it. So here again. And I realize, oh, these aren't even going to go with the other ones because the other ones are white. That's all right, though. All right. So now that we're done punching, give me a minute to put these up out of the way. Let's start to assemble our card. So we have our layer number 1, and that nicer, bigger border is going to be great. And oh, the goobers. Guys, I'm telling you, this is like the never-ending bottle of Tombow for some reason. Tombow's great and all, but it gets very, very tacky. It gets on my hands. And I just want to use it up because I constantly am getting, when I use this larger bottle, I get seepage. So those are my issues with the bottle. Not with the glue necessarily, it's just the bottle. So there's our little very vanilla frame. We can move that out of the way. Here is our Cajun Craze. See, that's why you don't need to worry about that in there because we have this layered up. This is where the prep work is going to pay off. Hopefully. And hopefully, I'm going to double check my card here in a second to make sure it's going to open in the correct direction. Okay. We have it opening correctly. So here's one. Now I'm going to tell you, do the right and the left and then the middle, because if the middle needs to be a little bit on top of these two, you'd rather have that than having it way off. So I'm going to set this over here. We have my 2 strips, right, that I already put my tear tape on the back of. And then the next thing you need to do is line up how you want your colors to go. So I chose red, real red, Daffodil Delight, then Pumpkin Pie. Might need to move those up a little so you guys can see them all. Then it's my Old Olive, and then my Pecan Pie. So that's the order of my layers. Now all I did is I didn't even go to the edge. I just scribbled this on the center. I took the first one and I lined this edge up. And the reason why I did it is I didn't want glue all over me. So I did it like that. And I just stuck it up to the edge. Now, you do want to be quick because you have to tuck these up underneath before the glue dries all the way. So that's why we're going to show you two of them. That's why they're lined up. And Tombow does give you the wiggle time you need to do this. So let me lift this up. So you don't want to push it all the way down there when you set it. You just want to bring it like so. Now you'll see there'll be a little extra here. That's okay. Take your scissors and just cut like that. And there we have it. So I'm going to show you again, right? So here's my lineup. Having them lined up does help. I'm going to start, of course, at the bottom. I don't put as much glue at the top there because I know it's not going to be. So here's my top one. I'm going to place that down. Now I'm not pushing on the center. Taking the next one, I'm lining that up just barely to the edges. Okay, so I'm just getting those little edges together. I think I can do it this way. Here's the next one. Slide it in there just until it goes there. Then I can pinch it. Next one. Slide it in. And then our final piece. So it might have looked more complicated than it actually is. This one I did a better job lining it up. So I can just snip off those bits. So now we have our 3 pieces. We can bring our card base in, and I'm going to start on the right. I'd already gave it a rub down, and I know it's just going to be a tiny border on the right hand side. There's one. Number 2. I'm going to try to get roughly the same amount on this side. And then here is our center piece. And there you go. That is how we did it. And here, of course, is our focal point for our card. Now, I'm not going to remove the backing of the tear tape on my little clusters. I'm going to leave that to secure it in place. And my little bird is going to go right there. So, what do you guys think? I really, really want to know. Of course I want to know. So, let's go ahead and add, I think maybe we'll do we do a large one here and 2 small ones? I think so. So we're going to do a large one there. Now this was part of the iconic imagery suite. I think put that one like right here. These little bits. Oh, definitely. I'm so happy with this card. Yes, I am. I really, really am. I know it was, there was a lot of work in it, but hopefully I was able to break it down for you guys to see it. Now let me show you. Do you see how much it shows it off with that larger border there? That made a difference. I'm telling you, sometimes mistakes make the best cards. And I never would have added that border had I not had to cut this one off. So, prep work, definitely. And we need to stamp the inside, of course. And we're going to stamp it in, this one we're going to stamp in Cajun Craze. Very old stamp. Oh, that still came out great. Sometimes the old rubber hard stamps like that, they get dried up and they don't want to stamp very well. So there's my case of card for page 59. So, but of course, theirs is a more brighter theme. That's why it could go on the white. I just thought I liked there being 3 rows instead of 4, with 2 of the rows being halves. That's my opinion. And of course, I wanted to really show more of this embossing folder on the card. So I did tweak a few things. I simply moved this over to the other side. So hopefully you guys like my version of their card. So if you did, please let me know. I love your guys' comments. They keep me doing this channel. And it is sincerely my pleasure. It is such a joy to come out here and create and share for you. Even when I created for almost 4 hours and struggled. But that is the creative process sometimes. Not everything comes easy, but I did not want to give up on choosing this. And I'm so glad I persevered. I really, really am. I almost went with that one too, because I was like, oh, this is getting it. But the result was so well worth it. So thanks so very much again. And as always, please come back and visit me in my wonderland. Bye-bye for now, everybody.